Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome those in advance that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted in the various groups from around the world. Our topic for discussion modern science is catching up with supreme science, continues. However, I had a request from my son Sean to lower the level of my discourse so that it could be understood by everyone. Okay? So I'm going to please his request and I'm going to tie it up with the topic in the main. I'm going to start off by explaining why one should be immersed in supreme science. And before I do that, one of the ancient writings of supreme science is the Upanishads. And I'm going to read a verse from the Upanishad because it has become very, very important. It is the Taittiriya Upanishads. It is verse 11. It is verse 11 and it states as follows: after the completion of Vedic study, the teacher admonishes his resident pupil, speak the truth, follow the law, do not neglect your private recitation of the Veda. After you have given a valuable gift to the teacher, do not cut off your family line. Do not neglect the truth. Do not neglect the law. Do not neglect your health. Do not neglect your wealth. Do not neglect your private and public recitation of the Veda. Do not neglect the rights to gods and ancestors. Treat your mother like a god. Treat your father like a god. Treat your teacher like a god. Treat guests like gods. This is the rule of substitution. This is the teaching. This is the hidden teaching, Upanishad, in brackets, of the Vedas. This is admonition. You should venerate in this way. You should indeed venerate in this way. This is absolute science. This is absolute science. If you understand this science, then you can navigate through this life in ease and comfort. This science is given in the very beginning, right at creation, and all other sciences are most 200 years old. This science is timeless. This Upanishad is timeless. This Upanishad is eternal. All other sciences is not more than 200-300 years. And this is why I am saying modern science is catching up with supreme science, although supreme science and modern science is light years away. So this science, if we break it down, is very simple. It is about respect and gratitude. Respect and gratitude. Respect your mother. Respect your father. Respect your teacher. And respect your guests. I'm going to repeat. Respect your mother, respect your father, respect your teacher. Which teacher is he referring to here?
Guru.
Guru, because he is giving this instruction now to a student who have studied 12 years of the 4 Vedas. After studying 12 years of the 4 Vedas, the teacher is now giving instructions and he is saying, respect the law. What law is he speaking about? The Vedic injunctions that he learned over 12 years. Then we want to go back to this absolute science. The science is telling you. Science means, Sita, knowing things as they really are. Respect your mother. When it says respect your mother, what does the teacher mean when you respect your mother? Respect your father. What does the teacher mean when he says respect your father? Respect your teacher. what does the teacher mean when he says respect your teacher? You must obey the instructions of your mother, of your father, and of your teacher. You understand? Nowhere here is it written that your husband or your wife substitutes your mother or your father or your teacher. Nowhere in the Vedas is it written that your husband or your wife or the instructions of your husband or your wife supersedes the instructions of your mother, of your father, of your guru. You understand? If it is not stated in the Vedas, then it means that the instructions of your husband or the instructions of your wife is subordinate to the instruction of your mother, the instruction of your father, and instruction of your guru when you embrace the supreme law. And what is the supreme law?
The Vedas.
The Vedas. The Vedas. At this point, I see Hemita got kicked out of a group again. Okay? Hemita got booted out of a group because she wrote, Lord Sri Ramanuj is the supreme scientist of this 28th Kaliyug. Lord Sriman Narayan is the source of all sciences, and Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj is the current supreme scientist. Then our great Vishishtadvaita, our great Vishishtadvaita Ramanuj Das, after Hemita got kicked out, he went and put Acharyaji's last discourse on the group. Then he got kicked out. Then he got kicked out. Kicked out for stating that Lord Narayan is the origin of all sciences. Lord Sri Ramanuj is the supreme scientist of the 28th Kaliyug, and Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj is the supreme scientist of the 21st century. So we stated three things and we got booted out of a group. Vishishtadvaita Ramanuj Das was a moderator for 6 groups. How many groups? 6 groups. When you're a moderator, it means that you can post in these groups. You can post in these groups. He got kicked out of all these big groups. He got kicked out of these big groups. I think he remained in one group, and one group reinstated him, stating they don't know how he came out of this group. And he was very, very sad and upset when he phoned Acharyaji. And he said, Acharyaji, people are removing us from groups. So our Vishishtadvaita Ramanuj Das is an analyst. His job is to analyze what is happening, and asked him, what's your analysis on this subject matter. Have there been any negative comment in terms of our substantive discourses? And he said no. But we got removed from certain groups. So I asked him, is it a good thing or a bad thing? And he said, it's a bad thing. I said, no, it's a good thing. It is a good thing because now we got the interest. We got the interest. If you open a group on Hinduism, on Sanatana Dharma, then you must be qualified in the supreme sciences of Hinduism and supreme sciences of Sanatana Dharma, which is the same. If you got kicked out of these groups, it means that those that open these groups have no knowledge of Sanatana Dharma or no knowledge of Hinduism. For if they had knowledge of Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, they would have embraced you and said, thank you for bringing to light all that is misunderstood in Sanatana Dharma. There are thousands of temples like these groups that is situated on this planet Earth, who have presidents, chairpeople, secretaries. They affiliated to government. They don't even know one sentence of Sanatana Dharma. You understand? 10 people over a beer and a pork sausage who likes Lord Ganesha will say, let's open a Ganesha temple. And you'll see in your neighborhood a huge Ganesha temple. You understand? Because Sanatana Dharma does not impose any restrictions. There is no authority on Sanatana Dharma because the Vedas itself is authority. The Vedas are alive all the time. No man can take authority of the Vedas. And ultimately, whether man expounds the Vedas or not, the Vedas continues to exist. Whether man expounds it or not, whether saints expounds it or not, the Veda is a living spiritual potency. It exists with or without man. With or without man. The Vedas is an entity on its own because it is the very essence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Narayan. So, for those that want, for others that want to kick Vishishtadvaita Ramanuj Das out of the group, I just want to give them something to ponder. Something to ponder. It is hard for ordinary man to conceive. It is difficult for ordinary man to conceive the Vedas written 5,000 years ago. It is difficult. It is difficult. There was no technology 5,000 years ago. And if it was written 5,000 years ago, there was no paper. And man is allowed to be perplexed because it's his very nature. Man is allowed to be perplexed because it's his very nature. So let us forget 5,000 years. Let us forget 5,000 years. Let us go back to the nearest authentic scripture. Nearest authentic scripture validated by carbon dating. What is carbon dating? Dana, it's not a new dating service, don't get happy. Alright? It's not a new dating service. Alright? Carbon dating can take a specimen on which that inscription was made and date the inscription on the specimen. Okay, that's called carbon dating, and it has been carbon dated that all of Lord Sri Ramanuj's writing took place during his lifetime. All of Lord Sri Ramanuj's writings took place during his lifetime. And how long ago did he live?
1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago. So to be logical and commonsensical, let's not go 5,000 years ago. It's too far. It's inconceivable to most of us. Other than gurus, other than bona fide spiritual masters, ordinary man cannot see 5,000 or into 5,000 years. But ordinary man can verify, and it has already been verified that Lord Sri Ramanuj's writing, through a process of carbon dating, has been found to exist during his lifetime 1,000 years ago. And remember, I am stating that modern science is catching up with supreme science. In fact, I'm not stating, I'm declaring. And I'm also declaring that the supreme scientist of this 28th Kaliyug is Lord Sri Ramanuj. So I'm saying that his writings have been authenticated by modern science. Lord Sri Ramanuj's supreme science, although not necessary, but relevant. If I go into a university and I explain the creation of this universe to the university in terms of atoms, protons, neutrons, valency, it will attract the attention of the university graduates, because I am explaining the supreme science through modern science, and they will feel more justified if I lure their mindsets through modern science, because this entire universe today is vibrating through modern science, is it not? If I talk about atoms, protons, neutrons, cell phones, laptops, internet, I'm talking whose language? I'm talking modern science language. And everyone, even my granddaughter, and I stated to you all about 3 months ago or 4 months ago, that at the age of 5, my granddaughter will know the Vedas through the tablet that I'm going to give her as a first birthday present. And she's changing channels on the tablet already. And she is one. You understand? So this is the language of modern science in which we can lure them into understanding supreme science. So I'm going to do it this way because it was a request of my son. And this is how this world is thinking. To come from science into supreme science. Okay? So let's, and I'm challenging, I am challenging whoever is listening to this discourse. I am stating that the first supreme scientist in this 28th Kaliyug authenticated already through carbon dating process the writings of Lord Sri Ramanuj as authentic. Then I'm stating that he is the supreme scientist. And as a supreme scientist, he must prove his supreme science to the entire world. Must he not? Must he not? Then I'm inviting the whole world. Buy a ticket to Sri Ranga. Buy a ticket to Sri Ranga, for his body still exists after 1,000 years. And let modern science, let these people in these groups that are kicking us out, before you kick us out, go and prove me wrong first. Prove me wrong. Before you kick me out, prove me wrong. Prove this discourse wrong. Prove the substance of not only this discourse, all the discourses I ran. Prove one sentence wrong. Then kick us out, because you're opening this group. You're calling yourself Sanatan Dharma. I am giving you Sanatan Dharma exactly as it is. And if you call your group Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, and if you kick us out from lack of understanding, then you should close your group. You should close your group. Okay? So I'm saying now, go to Sri Rangam, because the supreme scientists have to give evidence. And what's Lord Sri Ramanuj's evidence? That his body has not decayed. His body has not decayed, no chemical embalming. No chemical embalming. And Abhishekam is done on his human body every 6 months. His eyes are still there to look at you, Nirali. If you want to buy a ticket through Sri Rangam. How is that possible? Who in NASA can give an explanation? Who in NASA can give an explanation? I'm not sitting here on this seat because I belong to the Sri Ramanuj Sampradaya and I'm selling my mouth in emotion and sentiment. I'm selling my mouth in absolute truth. I'm selling my mouth in absolute truth. Also inviting all the scientists of the world. They have enough money to fly to Sri Lanka. They have enough money. They waste so much of money in killing rats and trying to find answers in dead rats. Go through Sri Lanka. See the body of Lord Sri Ramanuj. Read his literature. And his literature, if he is the supreme scientist, then his literature will be supreme science. So the Acharya is not well equipped in technology. And there is a group called Qura, Q-U-O-R-A. And in this group are the world's scientists and religionists, philosophers, intellectuals and academics. And somebody stated, for every scientific discovery, somebody always says that this was discovered in the Vedas first. Somebody posed a question, why for every discovery in the scientific field, somebody states that this was discovered in the Vedas first. And somebody else stated, why isn't those people that say the Vedas is scientific create a scientific journal? Beauty. What a beautiful, illogical statement. Beautiful, illogical statement. The Vedas itself is the absolute scientific journal. It's already a scientific journal. The Vedas is already a scientific journal. All of you understand? So we're going to continue this trend, but we want you not to be armchair critics. Don't be armchair critics, research, because this is what Sanatana Dharma is about. Sanatana Dharma don't say, if you don't do A, B, C, D, then X, Y, Z will happen to you. Sanatana Dharma is not a threatening system. Sanatana Dharma wants you to become scientists. Sanatana Dharma wants you to become scientists. So when you become scientists, you can understand the supreme science. You understand? All of you understand? So let's recap. Let's recap. My transcriber wouldn't want a very long discourse, both today and Sunday, for he is on a mission which he does not know of yet, but he is leaving for Sri Lanka. And let's see what surprises await him. Let's see what surprises await him. Guru just told him to go to the south. So he's quite excited in going to the south, that a very deep and detailed discourse remove some of his excitement. I'm sure he's more excited than April 27th this year. This is the mother of honeymoons. When you meet the Supreme Scientist, maybe face to face. Guru's grace is
great,
immeasurable. Immeasurable. Okay? So we want to recap for everyone. For everyone. Sanatana Dharma is not a religion, it's a science. Sanatana Dharma is not a religion, it is a science. It can be followed by Muslims, Christians, Jews. Anyone can follow Sanatana Dharma. Religion can change, supreme science cannot change. Religion can change, you can change your religion. Vasan, today you Vasudeva, tomorrow you can be Abdullah. Right? And if anybody asks you country of origin, Zanzibar. Abbas? Yes. And tomorrow you can become Mr. Abraham from Africa. Right? So you can become a Christian, you can become a Muslim. Your body will never change. The cells in your body will never change. The oxygen intake, the carbon dioxide exhalation will never change. It will be the same. Because that is the science of your body. Only your designation changed. You, the inner vasan, and you, the outer vasan, is still intact as per Sanatana Dharma. And this is why in Sanatana Dharma it is not necessary to convert you. Because science is absolute. Science cannot be converted. Science cannot be converted because science is absolute. All of you understand? So we recapping, we saying, whoever you are that's listening to this discourse, at any given time of your life, even when I'm gone, Lord Sri Ramanuj is the supreme scientist of the 21st century, or this 28th Kaliyug, and Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji proved the science of the writings of Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Sri Ramanuj did many great things in his lifetime. But I want to concentrate on his writings because his writings have been authenticated by modern science. Then I want to take the current scientific experiments of Swami Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj, because his experiments can be corroborated today. His experiments can be corroborated today. Today, the writings of Lord Sri Ramanuj 1000 years ago can be authenticated and corroborated. Then this brings the stream of supreme science only to the Sri Sampradaya. Supreme science belongs only to the Sri Sampradaya. And again, this is a sticking point in these groups, and I think this is why we are getting kicked out. And I'm saying, before you kick us out, do an investigation. There is enough. This is a world of information technology. You don't have to go to the Himalayas to find the meanings of the Vedas. Where's the meaning of the Vedas, Tiveshni? At your finger? Yes. Yes, Tiveshni, 15-year-old girl from South Africa, who can find out all the meanings of the Vedas. If you find that this discourse is sectarian, sentimental or emotional, then you can kick us out. I am saying, I am encouraging a spiritual revolution. I am encouraging a spiritual revolution. I'm saying don't be an armchair critic, Nirali. Sit in a car on your way to work and scroll the face page. Lord Sri Ramanuj, foremost Vaishnava saint. No, man. And delete. Go and press Lord Sri Ramanuj, and what you'll find. Really? Specific information now on Lord Sri Ramanuj on the internet. Then scroll the specific information and you'll find Sri Rangam. Press Sri Rangam, Nirali, and what you'll find? Specific information on Sri Rangam temple. Isn't? And then you'll find that Lord Sri Ramanuj's body is in Sri Rangam temple as of today. Take leave from work, take your bonus, fly Emirates and go and visit Lord Sri Ramanuj's body. Verify that the body is in existence and then come back to Acharya Ashram Ramanuj, posting on Lord Sri Ramanuj and say, well done, Guru. I'm not going to delete you. I have verified what you have stated. Because is it possible to verify what I'm stating, Nirali? Yes, you can either accept what I'm saying, seated here without going to the internet, or you can go through the internet, research, and then accept what I'm saying, or you can go to Sri Rangam, look at Lord Sri Ramanuj's body after 1,000 years ago, come back. Whichever way you do it, my truth will be unchanged. Whether you accept it directly, whether you accept it through the internet, or whether you go directly to Sri Rangam, my truth is still absolute. It depends on you. But don't be ignorant. And I'll close off with a Gita verse. Alright? I'll close off with a Gita verse by whom you think, Nirali? Lord Sri Ramanuj. And let's see what Lord Sri Ramanuj has to say. The all-pervading one, it's verse 15, chapter 5. The all-pervading one takes away neither the sin nor the merit of anyone. Knowledge is enveloped by ignorance. Creatures are thereby deluded. So, this comes back to Sean to give a simple discourse. So the knowledge that humans have is enveloped by ignorance. Whose ignorance? Whose ignorance? Sean? Your own. your own. The all-pervading ones take away neither the sin nor the merit of any. The all-pervading one takes away neither the sin nor the merit. You are suffering because of your self, your own ignorance that covers the knowledge. So whoever is suffering in this world is suffering because of ignorance of knowledge. It is not God's fault. It is never God's fault. Whose fault is it, Tivashni? Whose? Yes, 15-year-old Tivashni from South Africa. Right? And verse 16, after 15-year-old Tivashni, verse 16 states, but for those in whom this ignorance is destroyed by the knowledge of the self, that knowledge in their case is supreme and shines like the sun. So if you want happiness, then you must get your ignorance destroyed. And how do you get your ignorance destroyed? By getting
knowledge.
And how do you get knowledge, Tivashni? Not from the internet.
Through the Guru.
By coming to satsang. Alright? So I'm just going to state on record, but we're not going to go into details yet. Okay? So we're not going to turn or move the camera. But seated in a satsang today, we have defied medical science once again. We have defied medical science once again, because medical science is modern science, and modern science is catching up to supreme science, and supreme science has once again defied modern science. Jai Shriman.
No.